Why are people so wary to talk about freeform locks in the natural hair world? They don't want to offend anybody. I'm watching this video by Brianna Reuter, and she's talking about sister locks versus traditional locks versus freeform locks, and there's a lot of questions I have to ask, like, because it doesn't seem to be like they're putting too much positivity of a spin on freeform locks. But let's actually listen to what she's about to say.
Talk about freeform locks just a little bit more. With freeform locks, they're just as clean and neat as traditional locks, but it depends on the wearer. It depends if you want your hair to take a shape or just go. It just goes where it wants to go. That's really what freeform is that as your hair is growing out, you're just letting it mat and you're letting it shape. And you can use your fingers to mold certain sections of your hair to go certain directions, but really you don't incorporate the latching technique or you don't incorporate palm rolling whatsoever. So sometimes you will notice that if you're sleeping on your locks in the morning, the back can be flat or it just looks a little weird, but naturally as it gets longer, it will hang. But the purpose of freeform is to allow your hair to just look like different, like weird pieces are sticking up or clumping or breaking off in different directions. It's a very free type of hairstyle. So I hope all of these explanations has helped you to guide.
She called it weird. Is it weird? Are we weird for freeforming? I guess. And she also mentioned about
Tightening your locks.
being neat. Being neat, she said dreadlocks are clean and neat. She said freeform dreadlocks are clean and neat, but it depends on the wearer. Meaning, somebody that's freeforming could decide that they don't want to wash their hair for a year, and you know that's depending on them. I would put like a bad name on other freeformers, but that also goes the other way around, because I know for sure that there's people that get their hair maintained but still choose to neglect and not do anything about cleaning their scalp or their hair while they have maintained locks, because I've seen some dreadlocticians stories where clients come in and they have like crazy dirt in their hair and they're getting like regular retwists. I mean, retwist maybe at least every 3 months or so, 6 months, but it can build up too. Or if you ask any loctician, I bet you they say that there's a lot of people that come in with their hair dirty, even though they go see her regularly, or he regularly. But I feel like having clean dreadlocks in general really does depend on the wearer in every case of dreadlocks. And I'm watching this video to get an idea of what sister locks are specifically, because I want to make a video on sister locks. So I'm just gauging some information on that right now. And now this whole traditional locks is catching my eye too, because I hear this word being thrown around a lot, which I don't necessarily agree with. Everyone's getting all in haywire about the word dread versus locks. Meanwhile, I'm the one getting haywired about the word traditional and what the hell this means in the lock world. Like, why do they say it's traditional? Why is that the traditional way? You know what a tradition is to me? Something that is done like year after year, or after every time an accomplishment is done, or you know, as an activity that's often being produced. It's a tradition. Why is it that twisted and latch hook dreadlocks have become the most often event that happens with dreadlocks, right? Because this is what the word traditional is meaning that it is the most used, but not. Or is it meaning like it's a tradition because they're traditional because you go back to the same lady or guy, a loctician, every single time? It's a tradition because you're going back to the same person or other people to get your hair done again. I can see now, maybe this is the meaning of traditional, because the loctician now becomes the one creating this tradition, because they are supplying the service. They're Loctician traditions. Loctician traditions is what's happening here. I get it now. So that goes back to answering my question: is who's created this tradition? This term, traditional locks, is now a manufactured term, man-made. Freeform locks is not man-made. This is free to form. Things in my mind that are freely formed mostly occur in nature. Trees, bushes, plants, weather, in a sense, like things are free and they form out there. So when our hair is free to form how it wants, this is not, even though it's coming out of myself, my person, it is not man-made. This has been intelligently designed to do this, but not by a man. So I'm really just having a eureka moment here about traditional versus freeform locks. This is God sent. Traditional is essentially sent from Babylon. Because who's telling the loctician that their way of doing dreadlocks is the neater and more accepted way of doing things? If we all had hair like this with you know, free forms to it, this would be the tradition. The tradition is what we do often. These are traditional to some of us. So we must take over this term. We must become the tradition and help other people freely form their hair. We are the traditional freeformers. This is who we are. This is our tradition. This is our God-given tradition. So at least once in your life, let your hair do what it's gonna do. Don't hold back. Learn who you really are. Take a stroll on the wild side. It's like, face yourself in the mirror without the smoke. That's all I can really say. I'm gonna end this video right now saying that I am definitely high off of some kush that I grew in a tent here beside me, and you can see it right here. And the weed isn't even cured yet. So, wow, definitely looking forward to smoking it 2 more months down the road from now. Fire! Anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think between my rant. Just lay it on me. Be brutal, be honest. I don't give a damn. Give me some feedback, critique it. Alright? I'm out of here. It's Not Nation. Peace.